So this last example doesn't have all the variables in all the equations. This is just to help make sure you know how to put this into the right augmented matrix. Because the columns in the augmented matrix correspond to the variables, so we have to keep them in the right places. 2x minus 2y, no z, is -6. 1x minus 1y plus 1z is 1. No x's here. 3y's minus 2z, -5. Okay, choose a pivot. It doesn't really matter because here these are all multiples of 2, so it's easy to divide. It really doesn't matter. Still, I really do want 1 there. Maybe I'll show you that you can do this in a different way if you want to. You can be creative. So I'm going to go row 1 is going to become a half of row 1. I'm allowed to do that. It's a linear combination. So that becomes 1, -1, 0, -3. The other rows are not changing. If you're on the ball, you should already be able to work out something here. These have the same value for x and y now. One has no z, one has 1z. So you should be able to look at this and work out what the value of z is. I'm still going to keep going through with the normal method. Okay, let's eliminate this from here. As a bonus, we'll also eliminate this, and actually we'll very quickly find our value for z. So, how am I going to eliminate it? I'm going to subtract from row 2, I'm going to subtract row 1. Row 3 is going to stay the same because it's got 0 there. All right, row 1 hasn't changed. This is going to say row 2 minus row 1, that's 0. That's also 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. And 1 minus -3 is 4. So we can now see what z is. Were you correct in your guess earlier? All right, let's now try to solve for the rest. I've now eliminated all the entries below my first pivot. I now need to look at what's left. This is obviously going to be my pivot because I can't have a 0. So let's swap rows 2 and 3. Row 2 swapped with row 3. First row hasn't changed. Second row becomes the third, -2, -5, and the third row becomes the second, 1, 4. All right, I need to eliminate everything below. I already have. And I've got my row echelon form, 0s below left diagonal. To make it reduced row echelon form, I now need to eliminate these and turn the diagonals into 1. Well, conveniently, my third diagonal is already 1. So I just need to eliminate it above. First row doesn't need it eliminated, so leave it alone. Third row isn't going to change. Second row is going to become the second row plus twice the third row in order to eliminate it here. So 0 hasn't changed, 3 hasn't changed. -2 plus 2 is 0, that's what I wanted. -5 plus 8 is 3. Now I've eliminated everything above. So I need to look at the next diagonal entry. It's 3. I need to make this 1. Well, that's easy. Divide by 3. Row 2 goes to 1/3 of row 2. Just make sure you can still see that. So, first row hasn't changed. Last row hasn't changed. This is becoming 1 and 1. So z is 4, y is 1, x is going to be easy. Row 1 is going to become row 1 plus row 2 to make that 0, plus row 2. I should copy the other two rows because they haven't changed. 1, 4. Sorry about that. Row 1 is going to become, this one hasn't changed. Add row 2, that's a 0, that's what I wanted. 0 hasn't changed. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So x is negative 2, y is 1, and z is 4. Check it with me. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, minus 2 is negative 6. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3, plus 4 is 1. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. So it's correct.